Hey, good evening, everyone. I wanted to hop on here. I'm going to let people jump in. I was going to do the countdown, but then I'm like, we don't need that right now. We can just take a look outside and we can kind of chit chat here for a minute while I'm counting things down. We have the moon, which is just to my right. I guess that would be if you're looking, or no, to my, I guess the left. You see the moon. It's right there, depending on how you're looking at this. And it looks really neat out there on the sky camera. The good news is on the camera front, the Gina camera is back. Our theory is a little moisture got into it. So we're hoping that doesn't happen again. But yeah, I wanted to jump on for a bit and just talk about what we have coming up on Monday and beyond with the cold temperatures and the threat for winter weather. And beyond that, kind of what we have going on right now. We had a cold front come through today. As I said early this morning, if you were watching, we were in the mid 60s to near 70. We have fallen back into the 40s now. You can see out there 46 degrees with a dew point of 26. We're going to cool into the upper 20s tonight. And that wind is howling still 15 miles per hour. Not as bad as it was earlier, but it is pretty brisk out there. And I didn't feature him this morning, so I'd like to continue on with my weekly feature of one of my sponsors because, man, do I love them. It's so cool that they allow me to do this. And this week's sponsor is Jeff Drawn from UDB Financial. If you have somebody, or if you are the person who wants to plan for retirement, your kid's college education, things like that, Jeff's a great guy and he can get you set up. You can call him at 318-442-4944. Got that right? Yeah. And retirement planning strategies, estate planning, insurance, tax planning, all kinds of money stuff. So if you've got some money, give him a call. Or if you want to get some, I guess maybe he can help you find some. So here's what we have right now. Beautiful skies out there. We have high clouds, not much going on, cool temperatures, and we'll just chat a little bit about what's going on now, and then we're going to get into the... Please say no school. Come on, I can't do that yet. And then we'll get into the upcoming stuff. I wish I could, but it doesn't impact me as much anymore because my kids are old and dirty. They're out in college in Seattle and wherever they are. So I get to sleep in no matter what, but I do root for it for you. Nothing like a snow day, right? Low 40s to the north, 46 in Alexandria. We have 60s still lingering down there in Homa. That's about as warm as we're going to see on a map for a good while. Winds are still gusting up in the 30 mile per hour range, 31 at last check in Alexandria. And we did have over 7,500 power outages earlier. Good work, power crews. We are down to about 200 across central Louisiana. Looks like some others there down in Calcasieu Parish and then out into Sam Rayburn country out there in the deep east parts of Texas. But for the most part, any widespread outages, those have gone by the wayside, so that is good news for everyone. Future temperatures. Now, this is kind of the close-in look at future temperatures, and it looks like tonight we're going to get down into the, whoa, that thing went crazy. Well, let's see. That one went really far. Oh, this is the GFS one. Sorry, I lied. So 32 degrees. Okay, yeah, I'm thrown off here. I'm thinking it's my morning show. 32 degrees at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. on Monday. So we're going to have precipitation in the area. Again, we're into one model territory now, so this is all not going to be spot on accurate, but gives you a good idea that we're going to be around freezing, perhaps below freezing in parts of the area as precipitation falls. Then we look at Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Now, the precip's gone, but it's still going to be close to freezing. So there is a world where we stay close to freezing or below freezing in some spots for Monday, Tuesday, and into the first half of Wednesday. I think we sneak above freezing on Monday, though. So I think that'll keep us from seeing like 3 full days below freezing or 2.5 full days, I guess, or 2 full days and a half day. I'm all over the place, aren't I? Look at this, though. 18 degrees, 5 a.m. Wednesday. We're going to see lows down in the mid-teens. I think this model, believe it or not, is warm. So wind chills single digits. We could see wind chills in spots sneak just a little bit below 0 for Tuesday morning. So it is going to be incredibly cold out there. And then Wednesday, we only warm up into the upper 30s, maybe low 40s. So it's quite a cold stretch. And that's the thing we know is going to happen. It's going to get cold. We're going to see potentially record-breaking cold. It's going to be very cold. It's going to be not unseasonably because it's the only season we would get it. But the big question then comes, do we get precipitation? And it's tricky, as it usually is. because we have one upper level impulse that's going to ride right behind the front, and that's going to create the precipitation to our north. So here's what this model, again, the GFS is seeing. We get out to about Sunday at 9 o'clock, and you start to see some precip elements showing up very faintly out here in northeast Texas, and then off to the north in Arkansas, where they have winter storm watches in place already. By about 1 o'clock on Monday, that's when we were around freezing. You see the precipitation trying to overspread the area. Now, what I'm seeing in models, now I'm really waiting on the high resolution stuff to start pouring in here, but it looks like we're going to see a band of freezing rain, maybe some sleet north of us on Monday morning. And then that low pressure develops in the Gulf of Mexico, and we see the precipitation increase overhead. Now, this model really kind of splits the area. So that would mean we'd see more rain down south, more freezing rain to the north, and right here in the middle, it would stay fairly light, very light, actually. In some cases, we're not seeing much at all. But I do think area-wide, we're going to see most likely at least something, although totals are light. So I don't think we see power outages, and then we dry out, we keep it cool. So we're going to just talk about models here right now. Now, this is the GFS future ice totals. Now, we're not putting numbers on this, but you can see the legend up there at the top, from light to heavy. And this is what it shows. Nothing, nothing, nothing. We get into Sunday, Monday. Here we go. And you can see that solution I was talking about, where this is just your freezing rain totals. So we see that band of freezing rain that this shows accumulating up around Natchitoches to Monroe, and then another one south of Alexandria, at least the heavier band from, let's say, Simmsport back through Oakdale and DeRidder. Now, we're looking at single solutions here. The idea I'm seeing here is there is a little gap in the middle showing up. We're still like, Friday evening, so we are 60 to 72 hours from this event. We get our real good high-resolution models inside of 48 hours, so I'm thinking tomorrow evening I'm going to have a much better idea. But this is something I have seen on several models and their ensembles, so it's interesting to me. Now, another thing we're looking at, potentially, would be, let's see, this is the sleet map, I think. Yeah, no, this is the future track. Okay, not on that one. Okay, this is the Barron model. And this is showing a different idea here, a slightly different idea. It's more robust with its precipitation. So by 4 a.m., we're starting to see some freezing rain or sleet moving into Shreveport. And then by 5 p.m., went pretty quickly through this, but you can see here, big blob of mixed precip. Pretty much the entire area would be in that frozen or freezing precip. And when I say that, I mean frozen, that's sleet or snow. In this case, it would just be sleet. Freezing is freezing rain. That's the rain that falls as liquid rain and falls on contact. So it's weird. I know I say freezing or frozen. That's the difference in these things. And then things sweep out of here. So that's the Barron model. Again, all models are showing a threat for this in the area. Now to the GFS on the future ice totals, or no, this is the Barron model future ice totals. My goodness, don't I want to show this sleet? Okay, so future ice totals on the Barron model. This is freezing rain. And it shows that we do have, by 9 a.m. Monday, some slick roadways starting to enter our northwestern parishes, Sabine and Natchitoches. As we go through the day, it is going to, by midnight, probably, per this model, overspread the entire area and give us a light ice accumulation. Now, with temperatures dumping so quickly Monday evening, that's what worries me. Let's say we get a tenth of an inch or something like that, or less, 0.05 of an inch. You have just a real thin layer of ice. Well, when it cools off that quickly, some of these surface streets and things like that are just going to have liquid on them. But if we get into the low 20s or upper teens, well, that's going to probably cause some ice in some spots we're not used to seeing it in. So if we do get this all to materialize, the very cold temperatures are not only going to be a stress on the pipes and the plants and the pets and everything, but it's going to make for some really nasty roadways. And that is all dependent on if we get the precipitation, which right now we are thinking we do. So that's what it looks like. I mean, for the Barron model, it really kind of hits this hard. Those are light totals, less than a tenth of an inch, but it shows that we will see stuff pretty much area wide. Now, this is what I had meant to put after that freezing rain model, the freezing rain map for the GFS. This shows the sleet totals. And it looks like any sleet is generally going to be up to the north, maybe a few pockets here throughout the area, but I think this is mainly just a freezing rain event. And here are your totals. Again, the WPC outlook shows a weakness right here across the middle of the area, a little more down south where that surface low is going to throw some more moisture up overhead. I think we can fill that in down south of Lafayette for more than a tenth of an inch as well, and then heavier totals to our north where it will actually transition to sleet and then snow across Arkansas. So if you want to chase snow, you want to get ahead of this thing. I think it's going to start up there by late Sunday. So if you're like saying, hey, we're going to go to Little Rock, kids, we're going to see some snow, don't wait until it's going to start here. You want to get up there by Sunday morning at the the latest. I know there are people that do it. I am one of them. I would be probably doing it if it weren't for all this. But hey, I'm going to have fun here and watch this freezing rain. And it looks, again, light totals. So we're not looking for a big power outage deal. Your owed a 7-day forecast after sitting through all that model talk and data and things like that I like to dig into, and I like to share them with you sometimes. So 38 degrees on Monday. That high is probably going to occur early in the day. We start with the precipitation, and then we are going to actually see temperatures drop to freezing or below. So we're going to keep a 60% chance in for wintry mix of mainly freezing rain, perhaps a little sleet in the northern half of the area. Then we cool down to around 20 degrees for Tuesday morning, but with the winds staying strong, we might see those wind chills crash to near zero. 33 your high on Tuesday. I see Tom was optimistic and took us 1 degree above freezing. What a nice guy. 13, though, on Tuesday night. That's very rude. 43 for your high on Wednesday, and then another little wave of energy comes through on Thursday. Looks like we'll be above freezing there, but I'm watching just in case, because you can see these overnight lows and morning, the morning low Thursday and the overnight low into Friday is pretty cold there. So stuff we're looking at, stuff we're all watching closely here, and I really do think, if nothing else, you're going to see some dangerous cold in the area, and we have that chance for a wintry mix on Monday. Now, will that linger into Tuesday and cause a day off of school because, we have the holiday, we have Martin Luther King Day on Monday? I don't know just yet, but we are going to have to take a look. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put it up so where I'm not blocking the 7-day. I'm going to look through and see if I have any questions. Let's put up the camera again. That was kind of cool. Actually, let's see what... Yeah, I like that one. Okay, so I'm going to go through the comments and see if I have any questions, anything I haven't answered. We need to call off school at least until Wednesday, maybe Thursday. All right. I mean, hey, I'm all for everybody having fun. Let me go up a little further, please. Hi. My husband is out working hard for everyone to have electricity. Thank you. I'm gonna like that real quick. Yeah, I didn't lose it, but we appreciate the heck out of that. I can't imagine that job. There's a plane going into land at AEX. These are the things I'll sit here at night and just kind of watch. Let's see. Please say no to freezing precipitation. We have a dissenting opinion. Too cold for students. I get it. You want snow? It's not going to happen this time. Arctic air is really shallow. And what's kind of cool sometimes, and you'll see this on models, as the Arctic air is coming toward our area, it'll actually slow down over the Ouachita Mountains, from like Broken Bow through Mena, Arkansas, and then to Conway. It'll slow down a little bit because those mountains, although they're not huge, it's enough to kind of impede that cold air because it's so shallow. In some cases in the beginning, maybe it's 300, 500 feet deep. So it takes time for that to deepen and actually come over that. And it's really kind of cool to watch. Let's see. Keeping the water dripping. And you know what I'm going to have to do, actually? I'm going to have to talk to my friend at the utility department and find out what exactly they want us to do on that. If they want us to keep them, I think it's just like one faucet dripping. So that's kind of what you want to do. You don't want to have you don't want to have everybody in the city like running their water constantly. It puts a stress on the system. Get extra water and bread and lunch meat. Hey, you are ready for sandwiches. Yeah, French toast warning. Yeah, I haven't even really been to the store yet. I kind of stayed out of there today, so we'll have to see. We have to leave at 5:30 a.m. Monday. I think 5:30 a.m. Monday, as I'm seeing it now, I think we're good, as long as you're not going to be out too late. But this is all stuff we're going to really fine-tune over the weekend. I think by tomorrow night we're going to see that a lot more. Bossier at 4 p.m. Monday. Leave early, I would think. Or maybe it'll get canceled. If it's not, leave early. Let's see. Will the winds be high? No, it doesn't look like the winds are going to be that high. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of tree limbs coming down. Now, if we were to see the higher end solutions where we do get maybe, a quarter of an inch or something, that could bring some limbs down. That's when you start to see, I think usually it's around quarter of an inch, maybe a little bit less, but a true quarter of an inch on the limbs and on the power lines, that's when we really do start to see some issues. Let's see. Some schools, yeah, well, hey, how do we sponsor you guys? Well, I mean, you can subscribe to the page. Yeah, there's not much that you get with that apart from occasionally I'll come in there and say something. Now, if you're a business and want to, you can contact sales at Cenla Weather, and they will talk to you about that and figure out how to, get you on board. Because I'm telling you, as this whole thing comes together, the things that I'm realizing I need to do, I need sponsors. I can't send my wife to the poorhouse. Let's see. Broken Bow is my hometown. Hey, I haven't been there yet. I've heard good things. No, we're not going to see ice dams out of this. No, that's not the setup for that. I don't like to relive that one. All right, there's one place that will come and unfreeze your pipes if you have kids. Faucets that are on exterior walls need to trickle. Okay, I like it. I like it. NSU has canceled classes until at least Wednesday, and I know Daniel. He knows his stuff here. Dan, he's I think security officer. I don't know, what do you do up there, Dan? I know he knows what he's doing though. So if he says that, then that's the case. No more winter weather. I'm ready for sunshine. I mean, I kind of it's weird. I don't want to see anybody miserable. I don't want to see any problems, but I do like some active weather. But, like this morning, I had some wind. I got to see some nice rain come through, but no real damage apart from a lot of limbs down. So LSUA does too. Oh, my goodness. Watching me at the duck camp. All right. Now, if you want to sponsor me by cooking me duck gumbo. No, I'm kidding. I'll tell you, Igloo Roofing, Jason Huffman, the owner of Igloo Roofing, he could pay me in duck gumbo. He makes the best in the world. I think I've said that 100 times, but it's incredible. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to be live in the morning. I don't set alarms on Saturdays unless we have severe weather, and we don't right now. So we're all looking ahead toward this system, but I figure also if I sleep in a little bit, I'm going to get a whole other round of models, and I'll probably be live somewhere between 9 or 10. Now, that being said, whenever anything active like this is coming in, it's hard for me to sleep anyway. So I'll probably be fitfully sleeping for the next couple of nights as I look at model runs and hopefully give you an accurate forecast. Trust me, it's not for lack of trying. We are digging into this thing and just want you to be as up to date as you can, be as safe as you can, and make the right decision on what you need to do should this come to pass and we actually do see some freezing rain in the area. Because again, it doesn't take much. It takes a decent bit to knock out power. It doesn't take much to cause some major issues on the roadway. And we want to keep you as safe as we can. And remember, the best tool in your toolbox that you have is common sense. Use it. You have it. I think most of us do, right? All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go. I think it's steak night. So yeah, I gotta get to